This is Sophie Heller, and this is an ACT reading question. We're looking here at the last part of our passage, and we want to see what the narrator believes. So we want to look in this part of the sentence where it starts 20 years earlier, the means of resistance, up until the end. So let's go down our choices and see what's going to be reflected there. Choice number 1, it was easy to leave Starkfield 20 years before writing. But that's not true, since we see that 20 years earlier, the means of resistance, or ways to leave Starkfield, must have been far fewer. So it was much harder to get away in the past. So this is the opposite of what the narrator is saying. Choice number 2, Harmon was correct in saying most of the smart ones get away. And that's going to be true. So considering these things, I felt the sinister force of Harmon's phrase, most of the smart ones get away. So that's going to be true, so let's leave this one. Choice number 3, the resistance to leaving Starkfield has increased with time. This is the opposite, because 20 years earlier, it must have been much harder to resist leaving, but now it's a lot easier, if not easy. So that's the opposite. And choice 4, the reasons for Ethan Frome's hindered flight from Starkfield were evident from his actions. But we don't see that because we see that the narrator said, how could any combination of obstacles have hindered the flight of a man like Ethan Frome? So looking at him, he's so different than the rest of the inhabitants of Starkfield. It's really hard for the narrator to imagine why he hasn't left. So choice number 2 is the only one we see in our passage.